Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade, and today we're going to be taking a look at a supply and demand zone rejection on crude oil. So looking at the anchor chart on crude oil here, we blew right through this BMT, big chunk of buying that came in right here, and that pushed us directly up into this supply zone right here between 102.03 and 102.35. And you can see by all this wick that we're having here, we're not getting above that. Every time we attempt to go above it, we immediately come right back down again. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to sell this area right back down. Now, typically, when you have a breakthrough of the BMT, we should see a snapback to that level. So we're looking to target that 101.70 on the way down. But because this is the first time that we've really come back to this supply zone for quite a while. Last time was back here. The last time we were here, they defended it very aggressively. I mean, we tested it and fell off a couple hundred ticks. So what we're looking for here is the exact same kind of mentality, where when we come back to that same price where it's essentially cheap again if you want to be a seller, this is a perfect spot to come right back in and defend that level and smash price right back down. So we can really look for this next demand zone from 189 down to 181, and even possibly lower to the wedge lows again, back down by 150s or so. Now, obviously, that's a really big move to expect from one trade, but we are looking for at least this BMT test here at 101.70 and just trailing on the way down. So because we're looking on a bigger time frame to trail this down, we're going to be looking to kind of gun for a little bit of a bigger position here. So now taking a look at our entry chart here, you can see that we pushed above this previous high of day, this big thick yellow line at 102.02. And since then, we've attempted to reject back down, but we got hung up at the BMT and just kind of slopped around a little bit, and now we're pushing back down again. Now at this point, now we're talking about a 4-5-6 continuation pattern. This is a perfect spot for us to look to hop in here. So what we want to do is we're just going to draw up our entry box here, and we're looking to hop in short anywhere really around right now, 101.97 or so. So let's place our order on the table here. And we're just looking to hop in short right now at 101.92. If we go higher, we'll still continue to look to test short. But right now, we're setting up a golden wave pattern, so it's really difficult to ask for a much better setup than this. All right, so perfect. So we just got triggered in, and we're already gunning straight down to that first target there. But the reason why I'm so kind of pumped up about this trade is not only are we rejecting at a 60-minute level, we're bouncing right off the BMT on the entry chart. We're essentially firing off a perfect pattern in almost every sense. So we've just now filled that first target at +5, already gunning down to that second target here at +10. And now once we get to that +10, our stop is automatically going to move to break even. But because of the aggression on this trade, and we're looking to really take out a really big runner target on this one, we're going to move the stop and trail up along with it. So we're initially going to be risking a little bit, but in the long run here, we're looking for a really big move on this. Again, with the rejection that we saw the first time we tested this area here from the sellers, we're expecting the exact same type of rejection again, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So again, we're looking at 101.70, so we do need to be a little bit careful around 101.70, but outside of that, really, it's almost just sort of a free fall territory here. Now, since this is also an inside-out pattern, we are looking at a 4-5-6 continuation golden wave pattern and a supply and demand zone pattern. So there's so many patterns setting up in the same spot that it's really difficult to basically not to be pretty pumped about this trade. So again, we're going to move our stop back up here at 101.98. Now we did take off 2 at +5, 1 at +10, so we've locked in 200 ticks. We've just got one contract left on, risking 6 ticks. So worst case, we still make profit on the trade, but again, we want to give this one a little bit of room in case we get a little bit of a pullback here, because we're looking for a really big target. You know, we're looking down at 189 or so if we can get a big run. So we're going to be looking to trail all the way down with that move. Now, looking at the chart itself, let's take a look to see if there's anything maybe in our way. We do have this other previous level here at 101.52 that we do need to be a little bit careful around. So we will keep our eye on this level. If we start seeing a little bit of bouncing here, we will just take off early and just call it a trade. Outside of that, though, other than a couple of the swing lows back here, really the next level isn't until all the way down here at 188, as well as 185 at that previous or the current low of day at 185 and the weekly level at 188. So really, it might be more beneficial to start targeting this 188 down here as the overall move down, but we'll see. Again, we're going to be trailing on the way down, so whatever the market wants to give us, it's going to give us on this fall back down. So we've gotten the first two targets filled, and now just trailing along the way. So we'll be back in a little bit. I'm assuming this is probably going to take some time. This is the type of trade that we could end up holding for a couple hours here. So protective stop right now is at 101.98. We're short from 101.92, already taken off $200 on the trade, risking yet 60. So if we do get stopped out, still make 140 on the trade, less commission. So we'll be back in a little bit.
Stop filled.
All right, folks, we're back. Just got stopped out of just an absolutely gorgeous trade. Really hard to ask for anything better than this. Finally got stopped out here at 101.34 for a total from our entry here of a 58 tick runner. So a gorgeous trade here on crude oil. All from just an inside-out pattern, 456, rejection on the 60-minute. I mean, when everything aligns like that, it's really difficult not to pretty much load up the boat. So overall, we took 2 off at +5, 1 off at +10 for 200. We did ratchet the stop a little bit back, risking an extra 6 ticks on the trade instead of going to break even, just allowing this some room because we knew we were taking the pattern off a 60-minute and just needed it to have a little bit of room to fall. And then on the final trailing target there, banked another 58 ticks for a total of $780 or 78 ticks on the trade. So just a gorgeous, gorgeous fall off here on crude oil. So that's going to be the trade for today, and really with that kind of trailer on the end, kind of the trade of the week. But so if you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade, and don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. Have a good one.